Assalamu alaikum, dears, how are you? Mental stress has become very common nowadays. Anxiety has become very common nowadays. Because of this, we are unable to thrive in the life and are just surviving. To be able to come out of this survival mode and to be able to start thriving, we need to overcome this anxiety and stress first of all. So for that reason we have made it a topic of our discussion today. Let's begin. Let's begin and let's try to understand the stress and the anxiety first of all. We need to recognize the triggers and the symptoms. Recognizing the triggers, recognizing the symptoms. So that is the first thing to do. Number two, accept your emotions. Accepting, first of all, we have to accept our emotions. Once the two of these things have been done, are being understood by us, then we need to take care of ourselves, self-care. And then there are, of course, self-care strategies, which are five in number only. First of all, we need to sleep for 7 to 8 hours of every night. Sleeping, the better quality sleep we do have, the easier it would become for us to overcome the anxiety and the mental stress. So 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. Preferably sleeping at the same time and waking up at almost the same time. Almost the same time mean obviously there will be a variation of a little bit, but it should be almost the same, ideally. Number two, it is what we eat. We need to we need to stop eating the junk food, the fast food, the processed food, eating the natural, unprocessed food, processing it at our own home, and not to buy the processed food at all, because that is quite injurious to the health. So, returning to the simple natural diet and keep ourselves hydrating. That is the second out of the, that is the two of these are first five self-care strategies. Then, what is needed is mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation. We need to be mindful. We need not to dwell in the past at all. Learning whatever can be learnt out of the past, then let it go. Not to stick in the not to stick to the not to dwell in the past at all, because the past usually is full of the repentance and the regrets. So we don't have to live there. Rather, we have to learn, because we have to reflect back. We have to reflect back and learn, then let it go. All of us have a future as well. As far our future is concerned, there are usually the worries. We don't need to worry at all. We need to plan, then let it go as well. Let's focus and let's concentrate upon, our present, our today and the present moment. So, dear friends and fellows, I think that is so much important. As for the technical definition, the mindfulness is concerned, it is a state of mind, constant state of mind, consciously, a state of mind, by focusing, a state of mind achieved by focusing one's awareness, by consciously focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings and thoughts, and that too in a non-judgmental way. So we need to practice the mindfulness, and we need to practice the meditation, the two of these things. That is the three out of the three out of the five self-care strategies. And the fourth is, it is the exercise regularly. Physical exercise on a regular basis. If at all we can't do any other thing, and then at least we should be doing the walk, and whatever suits us, whatever is feasible for us. But I preferably twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, 30 minutes each, which it means that 1 hour. 1 hour is an ideal time for the walk, but even if at all some of the people, they are too busy to afford it, then they should stick to 30 minutes but once in a daytime. So that is, and then finally at fifth, what is needed is, it is connect with the nature. Connecting with the nature, very important indeed, because sparing a little bit of the time, then going in a solitary walk, a little bit out of the town, or being in the park if at all we can't go there. So these are the five self-care strategies, which are of course very important. Then it comes the stress management techniques. These are again five in number. First of all, it is the deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing exercises mean inhale, at least for the 4 seconds, then 3 seconds, 4 seconds, retaining it in the lungs, retaining this air in the lungs for 4 seconds, and then of course releasing it at least for the 6 7 seconds. So that is obviously, we will not be able to achieve it from the very beginning, but we need to start practicing it. After a little bit of the practice, we will be able to do it like that. It is called the deep breathing exercises. The second is progressive muscle relaxation. What is this, by the way? Lie down, comfortably. Then like focus on your feet, make it tense, then releasing it gradually, making it tense, say it for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, then releasing it. Also it has a lot to do with the mind. Then from the ankles to the knee, both of these legs, try to strain it and then release it gradually. Then from the knee, then it comes to the thigh, and so on. Every part of the body, we need to make it tense for a while, for the few seconds, then releasing it gradually and relaxing it. It is called the progressive muscle relaxation. The third is, it is the journaling. Journaling, that is for the purpose of emotional release. We need to journal it. We need to write it. Whatever our thoughts are, whatever our feelings are, whatever our experiences are, whatever our reflection upon our experiences are, not for the purpose of saving it. You can save if you want to, but otherwise, just write it down, put it on the paper, and then destroy it. So that is called journaling. Now the fourth is, it is the time management. How can we manage the time better? By prioritizing the task. First of all, keep writing. Every time you think that this should be done immediately or in the near future, put it down, put it on the paper, jot it down. Always have a list of such items. And then at the same time, what is needed is that against or in front of every item, write either A, B, C, D. A against those items which are important and urgent at the same time. B against every such item which is important but not urgent. C in front of all those items which are not important but urgent. And D in front of every such item which is neither important nor urgent. So it is the time management, and by prioritizing the task. And the fifth, stress management technique is that seek social support from friends, from family, or go for a therapy. Seeking support from the friends, from the family, or going for the therapy, going for the counseling from a professional. That is the stress management techniques. Moving next, it is the building up resilience. We need to build the resilience. We need to become a resilient. Resilience means obviously the life we are living. It's never going to be a smooth one, and nobody on earth maybe will be having a smooth life. Why? Because there are ebbs and flows of the life. There are ups and downs of the life. Sometimes we listen and experience the pleasant thing. At other time we are experience just the opposite of it. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail, sometimes we suffer a setback, sometimes we stumble. So every time something unpleasant happens, we shouldn't give it up at all. We should try to stand up early, and we should try to recover early emotionally, emotionally, as well as otherwise. So we need to restart our journey, and we need to normalize our life again. It is like any loved one, suffer from a setback or a failure. So we try to console that particular person. So it is the, actually, dear friends and fellows, I think that it is so much important, and it is the, building of resilience which is more important. First of all, we need to practice the gratitude if at all we want to become a resilient person. So there is an attitude of gratitude, mean always trying to be grateful even for the trivial things we are enjoying, we are experiences, not to ignore it, not to take it for granted. There are people who are seen complaining, criticizing for most of the time. So they people are very and highly ungrateful people. We have to become a grateful person. We have to practice the gratitude, and this gratitude can be practiced once we are seen, being grateful for even the smaller and the trivial things which we are enjoying in the life. Not to ignore, not to overlook, not to neglect, not to be ungrateful, even for the smaller thing, because that is an attitude of gratitude. If at all we want to become a resilient person, the first thing which is needed, it is being practicing gratitude. The second is reframing of negative thoughts. There are plenty and plenty of negative thoughts which we keep experiences. What is needed is that we need to counter the negative thoughts. We need to counter the negative thoughts. Negative thoughts which does tell us that you are going to fail, that you are not going to succeed, that the society is bad, the people are bad. I think none of them is bad at all. Simply we need to adjust ourselves, and simply we need to handle them in a right way, in the right manner. So my dear friends and fellows, I think that we need to reframe the negative thoughts and convert it into a positive one by affirmation. We need to have always the positive affirmation, and this positive affirmation does encourage us, motivate us, and even appreciate us the time we perform anything in a better way. So it is the countering of negative thoughts, and it is the reframing of the negative thoughts. The third is set realistic goals. Always set the realistic goals. Although a very popular idea is, smart goal. Smart is an abbreviation comprising 5 letters. 5 letters. It begins with S. Our goal should be specific one. Number two, it is the second letter of the smart abbreviation. It is M. My goal should be measurable one. I want to achieve 100,000. I have 30, 40,000 in my pocket. That is, for example, the measurability. The third is, it is the A. The third letter in the abbreviation SMART, it is A, and A stands for attainable or achievable. Your goal should be a realistic one, should be an attainable one, should be an achievable one. It shouldn't be so big that you never become able to achieve that. Now, the fourth letter in the SMART abbreviation, it is the R, and R stands for the relevant. Our goal should be able to bring the improvement in my life, in the life of my loved one, and in the life of the general public as well. Then lastly, the SMART contains the letter T, and T stands for the time bound. Time bound means that, my dear friends and fellows, that I want to achieve something in the next 6 months. So that is the time bound. Although it is adjustable, later on it can be extendable as well, but I need to give myself a reasonable deadline as well. So that is practicing resilience, and we talked about the 5 ways to practice the resilience, to building resilience. And building resilience means that anybody who is resilient enough, I think they never fail. Whatever the circumstances, they keep moving, they keep progressing as well. So my dear friends and fellows, now it is the the third out of this building resilience strategies. It is setting realistic goals. The fourth is develop problem solving skills. We need to develop the problem solving skills, because these are very important indeed. Problem solving skills are very important, and we need to learn it. We can learn it as well. Now the fifth is, that is, cultivate self compassion. Cultivation Cultivating the self compassion. What is this self compassion? Sometimes we fail, sometimes we suffer a setback, sometimes we stumble, sometimes we get a frustration. So in that case, not to put yourself down, not to make yourself a target of harsh criticism, not at all. Rather, we need to console ourselves the way we do if at all a very loved one does fail, or does come across any sort of setback, etc. In the same manner, my dear friends and fellows, I think that we need to practice the self compassion. We need to console ourselves. We need to treat ourselves kind heartedly. Every time we fail, we suffer a setback, or we do stumble. So, dear friends and fellows, that was how to build the resilience. Moving to the next part of it, it is thriving, the strategy to thrive. And as for this the strategy to thrive is concerned, there are 5 simple ways to keep thriving, to start thriving. It is number one, pursue passions and interests. Whatever your passions are, whatever your interests are, I think we need to pursue it, because we don't feel tired or boredom while pursuing our passions. The second is, nurture meaningful relationships. Nurturing of meaningful relationships, not the purposeless, not the junk people, not the toxic people at all, but rather, nurturing purposeful meaningful relationships. The third is continuously learn and grow. Learning continuously, learn and grow continuously. The fourth is practice self awareness and self reflection. Self awareness on the one hand, self reflection on the other hand. We need to practice the self awareness, we need to practice the self reflection as well. The fifth and the last is celebrate achievement. Every time we make a progress, even the smaller achievement should be celebrated. I need to encourage myself, I need to reward myself, you need to reward yourself. We need to appreciate ourselves every time we make a progress. We need to reward ourselves in a healthy way, in a sensible way, in a sustainable way. We need to celebrate, we need to become, so that is, building of that is, the strategy, the 5 point strategy to thrive. Now remember, thriving is a journey, not a destination. Start small, start small, be patient, and seek help when needed. Would you? So that is, I think, was a very good, very important, very useful, very beneficial topic of, managing the mental stress and the anxiety, so that we are better able to start thriving again. So that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much.